Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Think with Zykoma, where I absolutely try to take you guys through every thought in my mind while I'm fighting in solo arena. Maybe we'll do some duo arena stuff later on, but I really want you guys to become better individual players. A lot of you guys are not going to think that solo arena is really useful or all that important, because if you really think about what a duo fight is, it's genuinely, especially at the higher level too, it's two individuals just fighting and fighting two other individuals. Like, you have to sort of separate the teamwork and not sort of put overvalue it too much, because I feel like that's what a lot of people do. So we have our first fight here. Let's try to diagonal bug fight him. Hit him for 20. Okay. Pump the wall. And that should be pretty clean. If you notice what I did to, and this is why I genuinely do believe the lever is better than the prime. If you can pump pieces, it is way faster in terms of pressure, and you're going to have a much better time in terms of box fighting. And that's genuinely why I do believe the lever shotgun, if you can get used to it, is slightly better than the prime. The prime has 4 shots, and yes, it does more damage to buildings and stuff, but you know, the lever does the same job. It does the exact same thing at the faster fire rate, and it has 6 shots in its clip, and I really think that's the difference. That's really important. And it does hit decently hard regardless. I do think the prime shotgun is more powerful, but I honestly believe the 6 shots and the faster fire rate is way more forgiving if in the case that you make a mistake. Because think about it, if you're pumping every wall while you're box fighting and using your guns to take walls as you should, you're going to run out of ammo much faster with the prime loadout rather than a lever loadout. My mats aren't good, so I'm going to keep in mind, try not to fight too much with low mats. He's in here. Yeah, so you see the little spray that I did to try to get in? I think that's super important. Try to match that as well. Don't try to double pickaxe walls often. A little bit of gun damage right before you pickaxe will make the wall one pickaxeable, and that's really way more pressure. I'm gonna try to reload everything, take a breather. This guy's trying to take this. 25 for him. I could have hit that harder. You see that little jump that I did with the SMG? It sort of baits him. See what happens here. Back. That little damage I got with the SMG. I'm going to be a little bit careful here. I'm actually going to make more space. The reason is because I hear the third party coming in through the side. I have to be a little bit more careful here. We can start working here now. Above. And it's so over just because you don't respect the diagonal, and I don't know. That's just not the right play by him, unfortunately. I hear him underneath me. Okay, that was a little bit too much crosshair placement. Let's see what ends up happening. Expand out, they make that wall weak. You don't want to sit there for too long. Notice how I'm not just like willy-nilly editing. Super important to recognize. Don't just try to edit willy-nilly. Third party coming in. Let's just chill. Like, take it slow. If anything, I want to go back to the other builds. Why? Because I think there's loot back here, but in general, I feel better over the hard mats. I also want to pop a med kit, so it's easier to do that in the metal. Let's try to get out of the third party, pop this med kit, let them fight a little bit, and then go back in. And as cheesy as that is, practice good habits in solo arena. Don't just rush, because every time you do something the wrong way in terms of like a rep, like if I get used to sort of fighting dumb fights, then I'll fight dumb fights in tournaments as well, and that's obviously not good. There we go. That's what I was looking for. A little refresh in terms of mats, and this is good. I also want the hammer. Gonna pump the wall. There we go. Okay, mistakes are made. Let's try to get out of here. I do want to pop the medkit in time, so I'm not going to pop the second mini. So the peak that I did was exactly what punished me there, and you need to realize these mistakes. This is why solo arena is so good. However, don't just wave it off, right? Notice how I like quite literally admitted to my mistake, right? Even saying it out loud can help. Like, you need to really process what you did wrong. You can't just move on from the mistake, right? Yeah, you're gonna edit. Jump in here. Pump the wall. Need to reload a whole bunch of stuff. Also, 24 builds. Not looking good. Let it drop. Okay. I need these mats. It's very well timed. Notice how I'm picking up other weapons? You can pre-fire a lot, guys. I think it's super useful to try to do that. You can even pre-fire without a shotgun. You can probably see it in my play there. Oh, and I'm probably dead. So, what is the lesson, right? It's super important to genuinely admit and be honest with yourself. What did I do wrong there? Because you have to ask yourself, like, when I died, was it my fault? Yes it was. Yes it was. So what was my mistake? When you kill someone, it is generally a common rule to expand and try to make another box. And so it's super important that when you make another box, it allows you to have more space. You get to loot in peace. You don't have any sort of other issues. And yes, most of those builds were mine. However, I didn't fully control, like, there were holes, right? There's gaps where people could have sneaked through, and that's exactly what happened. That guy snuck up on me. It's quite literally like a fourth party, but doesn't matter. It's a very common rule. Every time you get a kill or every time you finish a fight, because of the fact that your guns are not reloaded, even if you're full HP, like, you have to make space just so you can have time to breathe in between these fights, right? Chances are, if you just fought someone, you're not ready to fight the next guy right away. You need some like 10-second downtime to like reload, get ready, and then fight again. And so that's the rule. I've learned this over the years of competitive Fortnite, and just because I made the mistake here is exactly why I died. Soul Arena is harsh. It tells you the truth in terms of why your fighting is bad, and that's the superpower of Soul Arena, and that's why a lot of people should be playing it when they're not. I know Soul Arena can be demotivating. I know it can be tough, but that's the, like, get over the mental hump of that, right? If you truly want to get better as a player, this is one of the sacrifices you're gonna have to make. If you need a break because it's too harsh and you can't take it, and you're starting to realize how bad of a fighter you really are, that's okay. Take a 30-minute break, come back, but just don't quit. Stop quitting Soul Arena just because it's tough. It's part of the game, guys. Like, if you want to really get better, you need to be honest with yourself with your mistakes, and sometimes it can hurt, sometimes it's tough to accept, but that's the reality of it. This is what you signed up for if you really want to become a pro player, and if you can accept that, I think you will improve much faster. Despite the fact that solo cash scripts are not a thing, I really do encourage you guys playing Soul Arena. I'm not saying, you know, play it 8 hours a day or play 10 hours a day. I think that's too much, but definitely implement it into your routine, because if you can become a genuinely better individual fighter in the game, you'll provide your duo with much more value as compared to just overcomplicating things with pinches and things like that. Like, really become and focus on becoming a good individual player, and I think your teammate will thank you for that. Good luck in the tournaments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you guys next time.